Hello, welcome back to Car Dealer Simulator. We've had a couple new updates, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at those. A couple new cars that they've added to the game. I've also got to deal with the aftermath of purchasing all these cars before, which I've managed to fix up most of them and get them on the lot. So first off, we're going to try selling those. We are at just about $1.5 million right now. So I'd like to finish fixing these up and selling them. We're also low on repaired parts. We've got a whole bunch of stuff that's already broken, but our buddy here is working on getting those fixed up. So for the rest of this day, I think we're going to work on getting our cars finished, fixed up, selling as many of them as we can, make a bunch of money, and then I've got an idea for something I want to try after that. So I'm going to go ahead and get this stuff sorted and ready, and then I will see you when we're ready to do something that's a little more exciting than me shuffling cars. All right, we've finished fixing this up for this job, so we're going to go ahead and drive this out here and deliver it real quick. And then we will head back to the shop, and I think the next day we will spend selling cars and fixing parts. So I probably won't include too much of that, but after that we're going to start looking for the two new cars that are in the game to see if we can get those fixed up and take a look at them and see what we think about them. So we're just about out here. I think this is probably one of the more expensive cars I've fixed up for somebody so far, so I'd like to see what they're going to pay out for it. All right, buddy, here you go. As requested. What do you got for me? Ooh, nice. I'll take that. 10 grand or 100 grand. I cannot math this early in the morning. All right. Awesome. So we're going to let our guy finish fixing those up. We're going to let some customers stack up and sell some cars. And then I'll see you when we're ready to see if we can't find these two new cars and maybe spend some of this over 1.5 million we've managed to save up so far. All right. Welcome to a brand new day. First off, we're just going to double check and make sure that none of the cars that we want are for sale yet. Usually not the case, but I would be remiss to not check. That's a pretty good deal. Let's see, what do we got? Most of these are on my lot. Not seeing any of the new vehicles quite yet. There are two, I believe. Nope, not seeing anything. That is fine. Oh, we've got an email, though. Let's see what that is. Okay, a car wreck. That's fine. We'll deal with that later. All right, everyone's showing up to work. We've got a lot of cars to sell and a lot of money to make. So let's see what we can end up at. We are at 1,559,000 right now. So let's see what we can make in this one day of selling cars. I don't know what I've done, but it's cursed. Yeah, so don't drive one tow truck onto the other. All right. After very much work, many days of game time spent, I present to you the two newest vehicles. As a little holiday treat, we're going to go with some holiday themed colors. Here's the first one. Kind of a wagon version of the previous sort of Tesla mix style. Kind of front looks a bit like a Mazda or something. Very nice. And then for our second vehicle, we've got more of a classic style. Also very nice in a beautiful red. So we'll take this one out first here. I've already got them repaired and ready to go. So let's take a look at the interior. Nice, looks comfy. Got all our controls we need. All right. I got the tire pressures and everything set, so we're just going to take it for a cruise. Our mechanics have been hard at work keeping our business afloat while I scrounge around looking for these vehicles. Alright, so let's just take a look out here in the light now. Rude. Very nice. Yeah, it looks like a kind of like a Mazda wagon sort of deal. I like it. It looks good. It's nice and low and wide. It'll probably make a fun car to modify later on. And this is the Zen Motors Ascend L, which is obviously from the previous one, the Ascend. The L probably means what? Long? Alright. Top speed's not too awful, but for a people mover wagon, it's actually pretty good. Steering's a little sluggish, but again, wagon. Can't expect every vehicle to act like a sports car. Still, it's nice to drive. It's a comfortable drive. But as far as the overall specs go, acceleration, speed, handling, it's all pretty kind of middle of the road. Looks very nice though, and with them adding the DLC in the future, there should obviously be some tuning options for this. There we go. We'll drift into that hydrant a little. Some handbrake turns going in here. All right, so overall, I like it. I think it's another good addition to the game. It gives a bit more variety. We definitely could use some more wagon-style vehicles in the game. And overall, it looks nice. The interior seems a bit more polished than the interiors of the vehicles previously. So overall, nice. I like it. Now, we will take a look at the next vehicle here. The Ardena Ventus, more of a classic style. Alright. Nice. Alright, let's take a look at the interior. Got a nice classic interior, wooden steering wheel, shifter knob. Not sure if that's just meant as storage or looks more like storage than a seat, but it's also might be padded. Not bad. Looks pretty good. Looks very typical for what you would see in a car from this kind of time period. Let's see how it gets on. About what you expect. When you buy something like this, you're going more for style than performance. Although back in the day, this would have been probably have been a decently performing car compared to its competitors. So, and it reminds me of the 1978 Datsun 280Z I used to have when I was younger. I wish I still had that. All right, let's see. Handling is a bit more snappy than the wagon. Acceleration is a bit more snappy, but it's also a smaller, lighter vehicle, so that's to be expected as well. Let's give it a little handbrake turn here. Oh, yeah, it definitely likes to swing that rear end out. This will be a fun one to tune and play as well. Alright, so overall, both of the new vehicles I'm pretty impressed with. They seem fairly well polished for how new they are, really. When you look at the vehicles that have been previously released, they've been a bit rough around the edges, and then they polish them up a little bit later as the game goes on, kind of, I assume, going by player feedback and stuff like that. But these seem a bit more polished just out of the gate than usual, so that's pretty cool. Right, we'll just get parked up here with our other more modern buddy here. Very nice. All right. Well, that has been the two new cars, as well as we've got the air compressor's been fixed up a bit, so that works a bit better as well. So if you want to see more, let me know. Let me know what you think. If you like these cars or if you have any other ideas, I've got a couple ideas for other videos I want to do for this game that are not necessarily around new content, or possibly a stream if that's something people would be interested in also. So let me know down in the comments. If you want to see more, think about giving me a sub and a like. Until next time, take care, be safe, and I will see you later.